I'm gonna kill this thing. What the fuck? Anyways, as I was saying, I was thinking of going to Vulcanus first, but we're gonna do Fulgora first because I am in a severe chip shortage. And as such, I thought it would be a good idea to visit Fulgora first because of that. And we'll probably do that in like half an hour, while I quickly have the rockets launch some extra stuff up. I'm quickly double checking through the item list that I actually have everything I want. How far did you go after the moon planet thingy? Nowhere actually. I've just been on the moon. Right, I should probably pack rocket silo components. How expensive is a rocket silo again? Actually, I should just have... Yeah, I have rocket silo components, like, listed right here. Alright, yeah. Let me, how far on the moon? I've basically just finished building the moon, mostly. It's a terrible base, and there's gonna be a bunch of work we still need to do. But we'll cook. Give me 1 second. So you see how I have the lights in my room off, but my entire, like, the camera actually isn't ass, so I can enjoy the comfort of a dark room without... Okay, the camera is still ass, right? I haven't been paid by Twitch yet. I wish I was. Let me double check my bank account, actually, real quick, because it'd be really ironic. It'd be even funnier if they just kept it to themselves. It came in today. Okay, that's awkward. Well, I'll have to figure out a camera tomorrow. Anyways, so how I achieved this. Right, I have my right screen, which is where the camera is on. I have my right screen, which has Factorio on it. And then my left screen, I set my stream manager to light mode. And that's how I'm achieving this effect. Here, if I toggle it to dark mode... Here, you can see the difference. Now, I still have a lamp down over there, right? It's a color light, which is set to mostly white with a little bit of pink, a little bit of blue in it. And if I turn it off, you can still see it because that's all the light from the backdrop. Because it reflects back into the camera. But I thought it was a pretty funny solution. 60 streams, let's go. I will admit, looking at the stream manager in light mode fucking sucks, okay? It fucking sucks. I hate it. Anyways, let me turn off that music. And let's quickly go over what I've actually done since last time. Which, I think last time I showed a setup of a basic bus. Exam season happened, and I got busy. But, if we're just gonna go over here real quick. Basically, this is where we started. I still have a bunch of random garbage over here that I will eventually have to get rid of. Or at least move. I imported a bunch of batteries. Not enough, by far not enough batteries. It is a... We're gonna have a brownout in a moment. Or a blackout, rather. But, basically, these are like the default mines we set up at the start. I basically did some... I did some, like, rudimentary ore processing. And threw it on a bus. And I've been mining a little bit of stone. I had a bigger stone quarry here, and then I got rid of it. So we have a little bit of uranium lying around. And eventually, I also imported some additional uranium. So I was gonna set up a nuclear reactor in a little bit, because I need a consistent power source to fall back on whenever we have not enough solar power. I think nuclear can do it, or we wait and we use rocket fuel instead, because this shit is cheap as fuck. And Gleba heating towers will get us there, I think. Alright, so there's a couple fluids you have, and I tried to balance the different recipes that are available. Bro, why art thou broken? You're fucking kidding me, right? It's deadlocked. Oops. How do I fix this? This says you're allowed to crack. Fluid ingredient storage. I think this would fix it, actually. I think I can fix it by adding the pipe that I removed and forgot to add again. Now it's working. Basically, I have a little bit of cracking set up. I'm storing a buffer of the other oils. So I'm doing conditional cracking. That way, if I need the other oils at some point, and I know I will, because eventually we'll be making electric engines here for science. Also, I discovered that there is a better way of making oxygen than taking it out of atmosphere, which there was a recipe. It was this. This is not what I was using. This was edited? Oh, it was this that I used. Right. This. I was importing barrels. I was importing barrels of atmosphere to make oxygen, and then I discovered you can just split thruster oxidizer, which you can just make. So we have this conditional system that, if I enable it, it's able to add more oxygen or into the system, which is then automatically converted to carbon dioxide. I have this little circuit here. There are some additional conditions running. Basically, if I can use this recipe, I will, because it's a nice conversion. It is 10 times faster than the chemical plant version, and water is constantly consumed, right? If I can't use this, it will use this recipe, which isn't great, but it is what it is. Because I need this to be converted back, and I think I'm just about fast enough. If I'm not, then I cope, and I just remove one speed module from this. And then this is the fallback for if this recipe can't run. That's the TLDR. And then you use those things to create wood. The wood goes into the shredder. And then because we had a deadlock, we couldn't actually process anything for a while. That gets turned into cellulose. Cellulose is combined in here to make the oil products. And it's eventually, if I have excess, which I don't have right now because this is running at full steam, so it's consuming everything. If I have excess, it goes all the way up here to make plastic. Which is then used for the likes of red circuits and the low density structure. Which, of course, is completely shut down, so... Oh, we actually do still have a rocket ready to launch. I'm sending the platform that we have, which this was the very basic platform that we made. It is ass. I reworked the other one, we're going to be testing it in a little bit. This just takes a bunch of science, brings it in Navis whenever it's used. I set up something horrendous. This is not at all efficient, but it is what it is. I don't think I have sufficient... I don't think I have sufficient science research in Cub. But we cope. This system is gonna go the second we get Gleba, by the way, because if the science spoils, this is horrendous. But I wanted to make it. It's just a simple system. It takes the contents of the loop belt, and it looks at all the bottles available on these belts. If it sees that for any of these bottles, there is not a sufficient quantity on the main sushi belt, it will let the inserters filter it. And that's just, I do it like this. This is my sufficiency. And then this is the conditional statement. Which, if you don't know how it works, it's pretty reasonable. So, on the red line over here are the contents of our incoming belts. So, we're saying for each entry on the red line that is larger than 0, so basically, for any bottle that's in here, if that same bottle is below sufficiency, output that bottle. So let's start a research and we'll see that it starts popping up. If you don't have this statement, and you have an item no longer on the belt, let's say it gets fully consumed, then that item will never be inserted again. That's why we have this statement. This basically says, okay, check for all the items on the red belt. That was not a good idea. Let's not do that. But you can see that the filter enables and it starts cooking. Let's set something to research. I had one mod that is currently broken. I have it disabled. It's outer rim, I think. And it needs to be fixed. As such, the FTL ships are available for research, but I will not be researching them. So let's research... sure, let's cook this up. As soon as one of these dips below 280, I'll see that it pops out, and it is then added to the insertion list. And due to the amount of inserters here, it is okay to be capped by this insertion list. That's how that works. It is a really simple system. You just need to figure out how to set those conditional statements up. I'm tempted to let it cook on steel productivity, because I do need steel productivity. But I also would like good wood gasification. Oh, then you've learned something, Herazer. That's neat, no? Anyways, now that this system's no longer deadlocked, it will eventually start producing plastic again. Which is good. So the rocket's automated now. I have an empty inventory. How close to done is this? Oh, it's done. Let's go take a trip then. And we're gonna go visit Fulgora. Why are you dead? Hold on a moment. Why art thou dead? Because I have no red chips. I have no red circuits because I have... I have unbuffered blue. Ah. I've been sending too many rockets up. I still have a buffer here. I thought it would look neat to have them all flow out and have like a little buffer over here. I did originally, like, if you set like the hand size limit to 2, you do get a more colorful belt. But I have the feeling it's not actually as efficient as you want it to be. Because I'm also using bulk inserters here, right? So they want to take a couple items out. So letting them collect those items. And then allowing them to move on to their next item. Is probably the better take. For that I probably should use hand size 12. This means technically you can overload up to 11 items. Which is fine. The nice part is that I can always just edit this. And then we're good. I wanted to use the Sushi Labs design. But as you can see, I do not have... the belt throughput is not high enough for this amount of labs. Anyhows. Let us go to the space zone. And hop onto the creature. The difference between this ship and the other one, the fuel's the same. I managed to cram an asteroid collector in here. I've quadrupled the ammo creation. Turret coverage is a little bit stronger. There's slightly more turrets up the front. I ran a test run with this to Vulcanus, and like half of it broke. In part because it just did not have enough ammo. This might not have enough guns at the front. You know, that is what it is. I think I just cope. Because I tried doing something like this, right? But then unfortunately the underground belt doesn't reach. So I'd have to do this. I guess that does fit. Okay, I guess I just can't dunk. Right, it doesn't reach. I forgot about that. That's why I didn't do that. Now a bunch of bullets in my backpack. Anyhows. We're gonna wait for these turrets to supply themselves. And for this checkmark to say green. Oh, we are good. Cool. Unfortunately... How could you let loose the 9 yellow mags, you monster? That's a good point. Excuse me. No, I don't know if this is enough firepower up the front. I genuinely don't know. I managed to cram more firepower in here, but of course this is already too far back. This is here purely for coverage, for, like, orbiting. So we're gonna save the game. And we are gonna add a station. Vulcanus. I'm just gonna do this. And, you know, we'll see what happens. I think this thing goes way too fast for its own good. But I'd like to try it at top speed anyway. If need be, I'll tear 1 or 2 engines off. Can the inserters keep up? Yeah, no. Not enough gun. There needs to be more gun. Oh boy. How do I supply it with ammo? I mean, I could also do more gun, no? As a wise engineer once said, use more gun. But yeah, I should really be throttling my speed. What's that bulk inserter? This one? It takes the asteroids out of the asteroid collector and it puts it on the inner side of the belt. I'm on the outside, my asteroid's on the inside. You're not supposed to be there. That'll sort itself out. But here you can see, I could not do that. I could do the bulk inserter here. I'm fucking schizo. What am I doing? I was like, oh, I can't do it here. It's gonna break. No, little bro. I'm making things up. For example, here. Where is it? Excuse me? Fella, that's not putting it on the right side of the belt. You're fucking kidding me. Why do you break? Why are you the way you are? I'm okay, I'm not coping. I'm okay, I'm not coping. Why the fuck, man? It's gonna shit out another one eventually. And then it's gonna get stuck, and we'll have no bullets, and the ship will die. Yeah, see, it's deadlocked here. This side isn't making ammo anymore because this is holding onto an asteroid. Yeah. I have no idea why it's placing it there. Why are you the way you are? How do I fix this? No way. Okay, I have an idea. Why can I not break this? Oh, I like that. No, you won't let me break that? Is it because there's an item on it? It is, okay. I found my solution, fellas. We're just throwing it into space. Dude, I'm so good at this game. I'm so good at this game. Holy shit. Never mind. The belt doesn't go around anymore. I'm not good at this game, fellas. I don't know what I'm doing. This cannot be interrupted. Fuck. Here, I thought I was clever. Oh boy. It's over. It is over indeed. Could I reduce this thing's width? As in, could I squeeze this in one tile? Man, I don't get why it doesn't just work the way I wanted it to. Can you insert asteroids into this? No, you can't. Okay, that's unfortunate. Is there a way I can throw it overboard? Is there a way? I don't think there's a way without Bob's inserters, and I'm not doing a run with Bob's inserters. Temptation to take the mod out that allows you to choose your fucking belt side simply because of this is really strong. Because I feel kind of cheesed. But I think it's just my gameplay mechanics incompetence. Do I really have to redesign this entire section? I mean, I have to kind of redo this too, right? I need to add pumps to it. I should have pumps on board, right? I do not have pumps on board. Okay. Send up some pumps, big guy. Send up some pumps. And then I will commit a crime. I think. I will need to swap these two recipes. Yeah, I will need to swap this recipe, and I will need to swap this recipe, but that's fine. And this will then become thruster fuel, so you'll become carbon processing. You take out carbon acid right now, and you'll become iron processing. We empty this. And I'm going to disconnect this. So I can empty this. There is no way I can fuel all these thrusters. There's no way I can do it, because if I have this, right, how am I gonna give this thruster oxidizer? There's no way, there's a pump next to it. Unless I just switch this back, no? Today, at least today, is like 15th. I guess that's fair to some extent. If I flip it like this, and add pumps here, I can limit the input of thruster oxidizer based on a combinator signal. But I would have to put that combinator somewhere. I think I can go over there. Enable if thruster is larger than 0. There we go. Then, if I hook this up on the green line, over here, then I can set this to read speed. And now we want to set our speed control. So we're going to say velocity Actually, I'm gonna say... Disable like control behavior. You can start making stuff, don't worry. This will fill up the thrusters, right? But I'm fine with that. And then I'm going to say, if the speed is above this, we're going to output thruster for some given number. And let's say the speed is 150. Or, for the sake for now, we'll do 100. Well, I mean, if we lowered the speed, then adding cruise control will help, no? Oh, sorry, the windshield will not get hit as much. Okay, so the issue that I noticed, right, was when we were flying into the Volcanos, I did not have enough guns. I had enough ammo, I did not have enough guns. What are you gonna do about the non-cooperating bulk inserters? Hold on. To the left is iron chunks. There we go. Or rather, to the right goes ammo. This will just correct every single output, and then we need to only enable these inserters to go when our given input here is below a certain quantity. So this is the red line. I want this to enable if and only if this number is larger than negative 280. Yellow ammo, yellow ammo. Okay, that's a way bigger number than I thought it would support. That is 670, so we'll just do 600. This will leave a little bit of space for these to drop the asteroid back on, and then this will recorrect the asteroid back onto the right belt side. Okay, maybe 670 is a bit ambitious. We'll do 550. That'll fix it! That is a solution! Yes, it is indeed a solution! We'll leave some holes in the bullet trail. And I can get away with this, right? Because if we're not producing iron, then we are not producing bullets, which means we will not be replenishing bullets, but we will still be using the bullets, which means eventually we will always get our thing back. Alright, okay, so I've added a couple more guns to the front. If I remove these inserters, I could give them their own inserters so that I don't have to chain this. Back down you go. Is there a way I can... Like, basically, I was thinking of this and then putting a splitter here. But that might not be as good of an idea, because how do I guarantee that my items are gonna go... Like, I can't just filter splitter the bullets. So I think it has to be this, no? It'll be fine, it'll be fine. If it isn't, then we figure that out on the way there. But here, we're not fully filling this belt anymore. Wait, there's a hole in the belt, right? It's like a hole of like 600. I will just put fucking negative 600 in there. Excuse me. The reason why I'm able to get away with it, why I'm using the negative number, is because I'm subtracting the wanted quantity. Which means I probably should be putting a wanted quantity on here instead. 600. Look. Bullet larger than 0. So we have too many bullets on it. Oh, we have way too many bullets on it. Well, we'll fix that. Save game. We're still on it. Let's try it again. So, we will be throttling our speed because we have limited our oxidizer input. So this is eventually going to shut off. It's going to take a second, but it will shut off. Yeah, we're now going slower. Yeah, this speed seems manageable. Also, you can see how much better it's going with just adding a bunch of extra guns on here. I don't think these guns really have to do anything, but they're here for when we actually, like... Oh, the single thruster is able to keep up with 160. Okay. Then, for my sake, I'm going to quickly remove these. Okay, actually, no. We will be making a round trip in a second, just as a test, so that I know how to improve the ship. And then we will load the save. But we're at Volcanus now. And I wanted to go to Fulgora, so we're not even at the right not at the right spot. We've gone the completely wrong direction. Actually, is the path to Senestella even, like, okay? It's mostly metallic asteroid chunk, and then it goes to medium asteroids, okay. And then it calms down to having, like, nothing? And then Fulgora to... Senestella is mostly... Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's make the round trip back to Navis. is this initial acceleration dangerous? Right? Because we're pumping a lot of oxidizer into these pipes. Like a good bit of oxidizer, because these are not quality thrusters. Maybe I'll make a quality condenser. Yeah, not having asteroid collectors all the way at the front, I think, is just fine. Dude, this is such a hacky solution, but it works. I love it. And this is a pretty alright ship. I will put the target speed a little higher, however. I would like to go... like maybe 150? Oh, that zooms out to the... zooms out to the roboport. Okay, so I didn't actually want to go to Volcanus. I wanted to go to Fulgora. Now I don't know what path it will take, but knowing that this system now works does make me happy. We are, however, out of fuel components, so we're gonna have to refuel for a second. Oh, right, because we visited Volcanus, we can now technically see Volcanus. We just never landed. We immediately left. Let's start some additional research. Maybe the moon buggy might actually not be a bad idea. Because it's faster. Oh, that's kind of cheap, actually. Oh yeah, right. I didn't actually build any of those too. I will blueprint this later and then set the builder request. Once this has been thoroughly tested. I don't even know why I made 2 metallurgic science. Because we're not going to Volcanus first. Even though I really want to start doing this. This science pack is kind of useless, by the way. You only need like very limited of it. There's no infinite research. But it is still really cool, so I can't wait to go there, but that's post-Volcanus. The idea I had, right? We can make space signs later using the alternative recipe, which gives you the standard recipe that you can make on a space platform. The vanilla recipe. This, however, requires us to make exploration science. And exploration science requires us to get this. And this needs us to have 2 other science packs from the following list. So I'm doing metallurgic and I'm doing electromagnetic. Electrochemical is really cool and I kind of want to do corundum. However, I have the feeling getting Fulgora for the EM plant and what is it? Fucking Volcanus for the foundry is going to be really good. And I might even consider going to Gleba first. Because that means we can do advanced asteroid reprocessing on the moon. So we do the 3 base planets before we consider going to other planets. I did install asteroid belt, so we're gonna have a good reason to have like one general like giant carrier ship go over here. This place should have a little bit of asteroids, yeah. I will probably have an asteroid hauler over here with some ships back here. It's not even a good idea, though. Like, how dense is this? Like, oh. Yeah, okay. No, we're doing a big time hauler for this. I have a mod in here that adds logistics chest, transfer providers, and transfer requesters that will allow us to transfer sciences and other items between two ships if they're in the same orbit. This means we can make a bunch of our science ships from back here, gather together, and then wait here for the belt transport to arrive. Then it'll pick up the sciences, bring them to the other side, where it will offload them. That's it. But if we look at the... Okay, so this is the Senecella Stargate. It's quite dense here, but these are like the regular chunks, right? Oh, this is from 2. Okay. This has to be pretty immense, but I guess that's what an asteroid belt is for. And it has big asteroids too, at a decent quantity. So we're gonna have to make like a big hauler. And I also know that going here will eventually require us to make a pretty sizable hauler. Or a pretty sizable... Actually, I think if you go to Shattered Planet... Like, there's not much of a reason to... There's not much of a reason to go back. I think they want you to stay here once you reach that. I think same goes for Nexus, but I'm not sure. Last I checked, Ort Cloud was pretty hectic. Yeah, it gets pretty hectic. Parcelsin gets a route, though. Which this doesn't contain huge. Hold on. Yeah, Parcelsin gets a route that doesn't contain huge. I don't think that's intended. Yeah, because this has like pretty high quantities of huge asteroids in here. However, it is a pretty good space to farm ox. No, it's not. I thought the blue line with the cyan line was oxide, but I guess it isn't. Well, I'm definitely abusing that this route is way less dangerous than this route. Alright, are we refueled yet? We have a good buffer of water. Just cleaning this out real quick. Which means I can send this back down to space. Or down to ground. Actually, I think you can do full space balls now, no? I think we could build a space mall. Because, like, what were you missing originally in space? Stone, right? I think there's a way to get stone now. Let me check. Yeah, this allows you to get stone. Stone from coal. Yeah, no, I think this is the recipe you use, because you can do coal synthesis in space. Where is it? No, alt recipes. You could do coal synthesis. 1 sulfur, 5 carbon. What's the difference? This is twice as fast. Oh, it's only crafted on the shattered planet. Okay. Okay. This is incredibly overpowered, no? Excuse me? Okay. That certainly is interesting. Right, Foliax is like supposed to be a... supposed to be like an early game planet, right? Ah, well. And then Rubia is required to go to Aquilo. I think what the plan is then, we do the vanilla planets, we do Rubia, and then we bugger off to Aquilo. Because having access to Aquilo is going to make Meraxis way easier because of the fusion reactor. Fusion reactor in the trench in Meraxis is a great idea. If you can get consistent fusion power down there, that is so helpful. Excuse me. Hi-yi-yi. And do we have the fuel up? I think that's good enough. Fulgora, please. So, we leave really fast. And then we will stabilize speed. Let's see. I do not intend to go to the Stargate and to go to Neumann. Oh, we are out of power. Is the solar power in space really that bad here? It's 1%? It's good that I have a sufficient ammo buffer. Holy shit! Dude, noticing that is scary as fuck. Do you not have any mods for better batteries? Yeah, I do, but I don't have the batteries yet. Oh, it's gonna have to recharge very slowly. Wait, is solar in space bad here too? What do you mean I'm producing this much from solar? I should only have uncommon solar panels. So what, like I have 200% solar here? 300, okay, yeah, that's why I don't have sufficient power. But I should be fine. I didn't... What is the... Adding... requires focus, okay. I did not bring a cargo bay. I guess I will have to make it. Alright, it's kind of dark over here. I don't feel comfortable leaving this around without any supervision. But it should be. Like, I know it's not that dangerous to be around here. Like, this will eventually get shot down. But I think I'm producing enough ammo to stay around here. I just need the fuel to be, like, full, mostly. I'm gonna do 20k. Yeah, it will not leave before accumulator charge has started recharging, which means it'll be stationary here for a while. Look, another rock. Alright. We get steel from that. It's been a while since I've been off Fulgora, but I think I have an idea of how I want to tackle this. Though I might explode. Considering this is just a bunch of roboports. I never took any self-defense into account. There we have the vault. And our first large island. Never mind. Oh, I need cover. Okay, recycling. We have access to the recycler now. And access to Holmium. But I'm trying to make a cargo landing pad right now, so give me a second. I will probably wait until the night passes. Or do I just ball? You know what? Save game. What happens if I get struck by lightning? Is it Jover? Hit me! God motherfucking damn. Okay, so this is a reasonably large island, but I want to find something bigger. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Oh, hey, nice. This is a lot of stuff I can salvage. Magic glass. It's made through stone. Why do I have access to this recipe? Okay. Diagonal inserter sounds sick as fuck. Okay. That's kind of cool. Okay, I'm gonna salvage a little more and see if I can find... Because this is like an island with a scrap patch, right? And I did bring stuff for trains. So we will probably be training this to a separate island. Where I was going to use the warehouses to basically send in a bunch of scrap stuff. And then loader it out. We're just going to unload it. Why does it let you do that before the planet? I don't know why it lets me do that. But I guess I will accept it. It is a very expensive recipe as a substitute for iron, which is one of the more essential resources in the game to just have access to. So I think like every single planet will have it. And even on a planet like Gleba, you really don't want to be using your precious stone for green circuits. I'm gonna see if I can make a cargo landing pad using the stuff I'm gathering here. It's a little difficult to see though because the goddamn item pop-ups. Should have brought my drones down. Cargo landing pad requires more concrete. I don't think I can get concrete from these. Nope. Well, I can solve this issue by getting some scrap and then recycling it. Concrete, please. I like a lot of it. I need 200. That is not 200 concrete. Come on. Nope, that still ain't it. I'm going to deplete this one node by hand, because I want to. Like this tiny little tile. I'm gonna deplete it by hand, because I think it's funny. And then we'll continue just salvaging a little bit. Man, how did I forget to bring parts for a goddamn thingamabob? I'm supposed to be like half decent at this game. Almost. Just 40 more. Come on. Let's go. Let's make one of these. Do bioluminescent machine variances give off light or what? Yes, they do. That is kind of what bioluminescence does. It is a required thing for Tenebrae, where it is completely dark. I don't know what it is. Wait, this contains fucking demolishers? No way. No, these are centipedes. Oh well, that is what it is. Let's drop some stuff down. Let's first start with a little bit of bots. And then to craft a rocket silo... Yeah, let's just drop the rocket silo materials down as well. Oh, get the fuck back here. Oh, that just destroyed my cover here. That's not good. Whoopsies. One rocket silo, please. Okay, it stopped storming, so we're just gonna do this. It might just be a renamed demolisher. No, I think I've seen them. I don't know why it's called bioluminescent then. Like I'm not a wizard. I didn't make those names up. I should probably make like a separate toolbar for just Fulgora. I know you don't, but you might be a wizard. You know, we'll see. We might play something like Major Arena again this weekend. I'd have to check out if I don't forget to like ask people tomorrow. Oh. Is this an island I want to sit on? I don't think I want to. So let's have a quick look around. Especially if I could find like a super dense asteroid patch. Holy fuck. Okay, now I can live 3 strikes. This island is huge, dude! And it has scrap on it. Like, good quantities of it. Or, like, decent quantities at the very least. Okay, no, yeah, it's not 61 million. Should move the pad here. Yeah, I think this is where I build my base. And then I think I will be getting my scrap from here. No. No, hold on. What, up here is a small island? Not with scrap on it, though. Okay, that's a vault. Let's quickly yoink this. Tends to have a lot of stuff in it. Here, 46 million. 61 million. I'm gonna see if I can exhaust these first. And then we will start using these. Cliff explosives. So I have a mod that changes the unlock requirement and cliff explosives. It's no longer volcanous, it goes back to the previous recipe, so we... Oh, we can't make it here because it needs grenades. Pipe bomb, okay. Okay. God, but the fucking damn! Hold on. ¿Quieres? Okay. I get it. It's funny. Okay, now I have enough coverage here to harvest the island for a second. Yeah, so this is a reasonably, like, deep scrap patch. Yeah, okay. I will be using this, I think, as my primary scrap mine then. I mean, that's pretty good too. Having access to some mainland scrap is kind of nice too. With some cliff explosives, this island's gonna be good enough to sustain me for a little while. I think we do the basic recycling here. And then we bring some slightly more advanced recycling here so we can get more of the resources. And then here we can do our main resource hub with our crafting and our rockets. That doesn't sound like that bad an idea. But to do that, I think we should probably start setting up here. So let us place this down. How expensive is it to make a warehouse? I need a little bit more concrete. Right, you get like 17 billion iron gears. But I have a mod. Hold on, I'm gonna go quickly save the game. We're gonna go in here. Car battery disposal. If we really wanted to, we could just toss it in the ocean and forget about it. I love this mod. I love this mod, dude. It's so fucking funny. I love how it's called car battery disposal. Okay, bro, okay. It's still making ammo, huh? Or it's replenishing it's replenishing the plates, at least. Dude, this solution's so elegant. There are holes in this belt, right? Like, it can drop the items off. I'm gonna... Yeah, okay, there it goes. I'm getting a little bit extra inventory size so that I'm not as restricted by this. I'm getting another row of 10 because I like cheating. Cope. What are we gonna use the stone for? The stone is used for bricks, I guess. Do we just make landfill out of it for now? Like, you get this from recycling scrap, no? Yeah, there's a small chance you get stone. I'm missing bricks. Okay, okay. Let us drop down these, then. As well as these. And a couple accumulators. I don't think I brought enough belts, but that's fine. We will cope. Hi, meme rat. How's it going? Good, nice. I thought I took these out. Uh-oh. No, get back here, get back here, get back here. There goes a bunch of stone, cool, and then all we need to do is supply this with power. I should have the other power pole with me as well. The long-range one. Yep. Just got my license, like your driver's license? That is awesome. Congratulations, you did it. You're now allowed to drive a construct that has a very good chance at killing someone if you hit them with it. Don't do that, by the way. Use one of the objectively... Yeah. I'm not a very big car fan, I'll be honest. I personally don't like driving, but that is what it is, right? I'm learning to drive because I need it. Scored very well on all the exams. Racing's peak, but commuting is also is actually so shit. It really is. Okay, and I think I brought efficiency modules, which I probably should be using. Trains. Okay, Factorio player. Okay. Okay, bro's a Factorio player. I'm just gonna try to save as much power as I can, so that these things can keep running for the longest. And then take the bricks, turn it into lightning rods. You know, I don't need any of this stuff for now. Make me a bunch of lightning rods. They're so peak. I don't have, like, any personal connection with IRL trains, but... I mean, if you like them, you like them. Like, you're like... I need to not ignore the fact that I need to actually grab the items out of that. You don't get electric engines from these, right? These are just things I accidentally over-imported. Don't worry, we'll be using trains, because we don't have much of a choice. But first, I'm gonna go clean the island. Dude, this is not the regular, like, eerie Fulgora music I'm used to. This is like... oops. This is different. Or am I just making things up at this point? There might be a mod that changes the Fulgora music. I would not be surprised if that's the case. I need to quickly find all of these and kill them. So that I can cover the area with my own. Here, now it should be pretty safe to go ham with my bots. Scavenge, my minions! Scavenge! Suboptimal rod placement? Yeah, the straight line was not very optimal. I'll give it that. I'll give it that. Now I wait. I was done smelting. Well, don't worry, I'll give you more stone. Whoops. Ah, well, as soon as we've cleaned off this section of the island, we're gonna start setting up automated recycling. The recycler requires processing unit and concrete. Make 8 to start with. I did bring over a couple of quality modules, just basic quality modules, so we can start creating quality module 3. Fish? Fish. I could go to Foliax and get legendary early. Oh, this also gives you, like, the fusion react. Okay, maybe... Hold on. I don't think I have anything that relies on Foliax. I'm just gonna disable the mod. It has so much stuff in it, it's gonna bloat recipes. And that looks like it's a mod I'm gonna need to do very late. I don't want to do that. It is a mod that makes me play through the entire game. I will play it some other playthrough, but not today. All right. I check balls. Screw you. Alright, we're just gonna brute force it. Right, these are the only mods that are missing. Force load it. If it breaks something, then we know that, you know, we can just quit out. Sync. Load. Whew. Look at how much stuff Foliax adds. It's super cool that there's a planet with so many items. But that is ridiculous. Sorry, Foliax. You'll be missed. But if you're gonna give me access to the fucking fusion reactor for just going to Vulcanus, because I can't get there without going past either Hyerian, which requires a lot more sciences, or Arig, which requires Vulcanus. How do you make these again? Oh, they are really easy to make on this planet, huh? Yeah, because I think you can get all the components for it just from this. Okay, that's good. That means we can very easily set up a ball. What type of shit can we get here? Energized micro cube. Cube. Nappy time is best time. Dude, this mod is... I love it. Honkshu, little guy. Honkshu. Handle with caution. Oh! Oh, it might explode. That's awesome. It's a spoilable fuel. It can be burned as a fuel. It doesn't have that much fuel value, but it can be burned. And I think that's what you're supposed to do with it. Just like throw it away at some point. Or produce it when there is demand. Or just recycle it. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, this is the one with the liquid emotions, like hope. Emotional cracking. That mod's gonna be so cool, but unfortunately... It's gonna take a while to get there. And I think our cross-barrier ship will, like... I think our cross-barrier ship will, like, using explosive rockets. How's the production going, fellas? Oh, it's actively recharging the batteries now. Like, we have... No, never mind. I was like, oh, we have few enough stuff going on. The specific flavor of nerdshot I'm doing, I really very strongly, really very hate. What are you doing, Mimret? Are you on the Warframe grind? Yeah, okay. Binding PSC1, Rev D for OC characteristics. Binning. Oh. Overclock. I only understand like half of what you just said, but it's fine. So, what is using all the goddamn power? It's the bullets I have to produce. Okay, I don't think I can ever get away from here without running out of power. Unless I make quality module, like quality solar panels down here. I think until then I might be stuck. Well, it's not producing any ammo now. So now I can charge a little bit. But there's gonna be another asteroid soon. Like, there's 2 asteroids flying in over here. They're gonna get intercepted, they're gonna get shot. They're gonna get shot when they get over here. We always need more oxide, fellas. Oh, is it charging? I don't think it's ever going to be able to actually charge. Oh, the water's just not done yet. Yeah, this machine consumes a little bit of power. I think after a long while it will stabilize. But that will take a lot of time. I do think it's safe to be left alone now, though. Why are you not researching? What am I missing? It's just incredibly slow. Okay. It is what it is. Excuse me. Actually, I noticed, because I checked, right? Some of these ore patches are kind of running out. Dude, I don't even know what IC means. Integrated circuit. Alright. Yeah, we're going to have to upgrade our resource gathering here at some point. But the ship is still here. It's broken. Spaceship, entity, legendary. 12 inventory slots. So a few of the times with these integrated circuits scale with voltage, but at least one starts negatively scale with voltage past a certain voltage. What that voltage is dependent on per integrated circuit on the stick. There's no documentation about it available, or just some math you can work out? Gee whiz, guys. I would suggest math again. What did you do today, Casper? Math. It's almost like a drug to me at this point. Holy shit. There's not a day in the week where I don't, do, math. Admittedly, I kind of have to do math, or I don't pass my courses. Turns out, if you study math, you have to study. And studying means doing math. Holy shit. Dude, I'm so good at this. I'm sorry, that was horrendous. I'm marking this all for deconstruction, because... I don't know why. Why am I marking it all for deconstruction? It might just be wise to cover the entire of the island in lightning rods, so we have, a good source of starter energy. Math is what made me reconsider whether or not I want to get a degree in electrical engineering. I don't think, Meme Rat, there is a lot you can do to avoid math. Or at least not if you want to do, if you want to do... How do I fucking... Exact sciences. And we place the replacement lightning rods. Gonna have to move that at some point because it's a small scrap patch that I will want to harvest. Yeah. We'll set up a power grid that spans this island. I think that would be a good idea. And then I will have to import a silly amount of... I will have to import a silly amount of cliff explosives. Ooh, there's like a little pond in the middle. That's kind of cool. Sorry, that was my Minecraft brain kicking in. Dude, this island is huge. That's so good. Oh, I've been struck by lightning. That's what happens, I guess. Sucks to suck. Yada-da-yada-da. I think everything by now is marked for deconstruction, so let's cover the lightning rods. I have enough of these. They're not as good as the lightning collectors, but those we only unlock way later, and at that point, I will want to rebuild the entire base anyway. Dude. There's like 2 reasons we're on this planet, right? In case you're not aware, it turns out EM plant, kinda good. EM plant, thumbs up. This thing is really good. Because it gives us a higher crafting speed and a base 50% productivity on some of the most useful the circuits. Because the circuits go on bloody everything. Hi, Squirk Pleb. How you doing today? Doing good, going back to work on Monday. Oh, well, that means you have another day off. Nice. Or at least I assume that you still have another day off and you're not like somewhere in Asia. Last I checked, you weren't in Asia, so. There's like a couple countries in Asia where it's like already like day, right? Or am I making things up? I don't know enough about the world. Sorry, guys. I'm alienated from the planet we live on. Because I spend so much time playing... No. No, I wouldn't necessarily blame Victoria for that. Oh. Okay, I still have a couple more stacks. Cool. Though Victorio's planet design is pretty peak. Awesome! Cool. That is now completely lightning rodded, I think. Yeah, that means that we can harvest this whenever. Now I've been on sick leave since the last day of June. That sucks. I'm happy I made it through my first year of uni, so I am allowed to stay there for the next couple years. So if I were to take a year off to, for example, join a student team or be sick, like very sick, they wouldn't immediately kill me, which is nice. I know if I dipped out halfway last year, they would not let me back in for 3 years, so I'm happy that didn't happen. Trees and rocks only. No, I also need cliff. No, I'll just do one with trees and rocks, and then I will dupe this, and I will just make it for cliffs. Oh, there's only a single cliff. I will eventually want all of these cliffs destroyed. Eventually. Alright. Oh, I'm getting a lot of stone again. Yeah, I'm gonna make a quick round trip to the little smelter thing I have, so we can get some more bricks, so we could make some more lightning rods at some point. Cool. Gonna go down here first. Because if we can get rid of the cliffs, we'll get a good bit more surface area on our island, right? Because these are like 3 wide. 2, 3 wide. That's a lot of area you're missing because the cliff is right there. Free stuff for me. Stuff for me. We're gonna make a lot of... We're probably gonna make a ton of substations, actually. I kind of want to cover the entire place. Ah, this is cheaper, no? It's way cheaper. Make a bunch of these, then. And then we use that. We connect all the lightning collectors. That way we can get all the power from them. This is gonna take a little bit. Oh, oops. I'm tempted to at some point do some more HSR streams, but like just for regular content. Oh well, you did manage to get the Fulgora. Yeah, I did! I did! And I think this thing might even be mostly up and running now. Yeah, the batteries are recharged. That means I think I could send it to... I think I could send it to Navi's. And then... I don't know. I don't know what I do. Like, it has to be in orbit here for so long. I'm thinking how I could optimize power consumption on the ship. Because I have efficiency modules and everything that doesn't explicitly require speed. I mean, maybe these don't require speed, but it is still extremely useful to have speed on your... It is extremely useful to have speed on your fuel producers, because it means you can both refuel at a stop faster and maintain a higher speed as soon as your buffers are out. Oh, my inventory is almost full. Well, let's just scrap it all. Getting a bit of holmium too, which is nice. Holmium is a material we can use very well later. Legendary holmium is one of those materials you really want. And holmium recrystallization on Keris. Wait, you can do it in the hydro... Hold on. No way. Why is this giving me holmium recrystallization? I guess I can't use it yet, but still. Holmium recrystallization is by far one of the most broken modded recipes I've seen. And that is because it is... Okay, so... Vanilla, you make holmium solution, you turn the holmium solution into holmium plate. Cool. However, this means you cannot use the legendary ore to make legendary plate in vanilla. Holmium recrystallization allows us to make legendary plate out of legendary ore in a very efficient manner. The Fulgoran cryogenic plant is able to take 9 modules, and the hydro plant has 4. The fortunate part, however, is the hydro plant can actually be built on other places than Keres, because you cannot get more Fulgoran cryogenic plants. You have a static amount. So by default, the recipe is locked to an area, and there is a maximum amount you can process. But now, no more. So, Holmium recrystallization is going to be a very important recipe in our late game. We're almost done cleaning this island up for now. I don't have enough cliff explosives to... Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to send the shuttle back. I'm going to need a ton of belts. And I can always leave. What are you making? What are you making? Okay, just like... Just go, man. Just go. Just go, don't look back, just go. Just make it past the halfway point, there you can restock, and then you can go again. Even if there's only 1% solar power. Okay, let's see, so this is a... This is gonna be a Navis. Navis to Fulgora. I think the batteries might be out, which would be kind of bad. Fulgora exports. I will need a lot of belts. But this requires mostly iron now, yeah. I will do a single batch of 500 belts. And then I will bring a ton of cliff explosives. So I can do 20 per rocket, but I want like 200 of them. Okay, I can make it. I can make it. There's enough fuel in the tank to make it. I don't know if ammo on the belt. And enough guns on the ship, but 1% power? 1% power is kind of scary. I did not see it with 1% power. That means I might need to power my shuttles with nuclear? Restock, my good fellow. Restock. Alright. Oh, that's a lot of holmium. That's nice. That means we can actually make some science. I think at one point in my first playthrough, I had like multiple... I think I had like... My holmium collecting for so long, I had like 50 cargo wagons full of this stuff. It was ridiculous, but it was funny. And I got a good bit of legendary holmium after turning that into plates. Not that much though. Direct recycling of holmium plates is kind of worthless. Okay, so, let's throw this stone away. And then connect all of this for power. Do I want to? Well, whatever. This is gonna give us a good bit of working space. I will expand the batteries later. Yep. And then you get all the recycled materials for now. Warehouse moment. I'ma go see you. Alright. Thanks for hanging on, Razor. See you next time. Probably. Alright, so we have access to some holmium over here. Let's set up a quick power grid. You aren't connected, so I will connect you. Oh, well, balls. Cool. This is a good power grid to work with. Right, I will take out the cliff explosives. I will take out... I sent the creature away while it still had a ton of cargo on it that I needed. Well, I guess we wait. No. Let's set up some basic mine... And I don't have a way to set up basic mining. Because I sent my mining drills away. I'm such a doofus. Well... It's almost midnight, so I might just call it quits in a little bit. Or it is past midnight, so I might just call it quits in a little bit. I'm gonna need to be quiet, because I think there's people that need to leave early tomorrow. And I am very clearly not entirely present in the brain, because of what I just did, right? I sent my colonization resources away. We'll probably do a basic setup here that will direct output our scrap into recyclers. And I'm very tempted to use productivity modules. Scrap recycling productivity. Okay, let's lock behind this. Water recycling productivity. Oh, that's kind of awesome. Prefers higher quality steam. Requires tungsten. Superconductors. Okay, yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense that I'm doing this then, because that means that if we're making a reactor on the moon, it can be much more effective. Give me your scrap. Give it now. Yeah, this is only like very tiny patches. Oh, that's a couple thousand in it. You should almost be ready to leave, no? Available on planet 8. I don't have enough cliff explosives? Oh, it's a slow process. Okay, never mind then. I think I can solve this by speeding up the process. Go faster! Much better. Controlled by circuit network. Well, I guess I'm just going to be requesting a little bit more of that stuff. Yeah, sure, 100 grenades and like 100 explosives will defy. Wow! More stuff! Yeah, it's gonna be a little micromanagey. I think I'm just gonna call it quits here with stream for now. And then I will be back probably tomorrow. Also, I want to turn off the bright light that is that. I still love how the stream manager gives you so much light if you just put it on light mode. That is ridiculous. But it's also super funny that that is my solution to that. Oh, that's a lot of barrels. Why am I mass crafting barrels and this stuff? You're only storing 50? No, bro. Store like 200. Make a bunch. And the rockets are doing their thing. Purple Science is still suffering. Oh, so is LDS. Oh, wow. And that is because LDS production is just slow. Right. I should really be adding these to my circuits as well, I think. Yada-dee, yada-da. There he goes. Do these require prod modules? It would help a lot. These drain so much copper. It is ridiculous. Actually, if I put prod modules in this too... Does this maintain its ratio? It should, right? Alright, that helps a little bit. And then I guess this should probably have prods too. You can put prods in science, right? Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. Just to reduce the resource drain a little bit. It'll produce slightly slower, right? Like, I'll give it that. I'll give it that. It'll produce slightly slower. But that's fine. Oh, yeah, that should be able to cover that. Right, I have like one base extender over here somewhere. Yeah. Construction area, 600 times 600. Yep. Well, it'll take a while for this to get up and running. I see now why that is. Read requests. There's no requests for stuff here? I guess not. Can I make productivity modules using productivity? Nope. Nope, you can't. It's not an intermediary product. Well, I'm gonna make productivity modules with productivity the second I'm done here, okay? What do you want? 7,000 years later? Anyhows, as I said, I probably do need to be quiet, so I think what I will do is I will call the night. And I will be back tomorrow, and we'll see what we will do then. Alright. I think that's gonna be it.